1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1.
This is one guy, Miguel Rojas, who talked about all those players that the Dodgers acquire at every free agency period in the offseason. They're always front runners. $350 million spent on the payroll this year. But Miguel Rojas, he's kind of been that staple on this team in the last 3 years.
Mookie Betts has given Rojas some credit, a lot of credit actually, for helping him transition back to the infield, specifically with his arm angles and how it's just such a different slot that you throw from when you're on the infield, of course, than when you're in the outfield. This is on a line out to right field, a base hit, and it gets past Canzone. Rojas takes advantage and is into second. Canzone looked like he would get to that, but it gets right on past him.
Yeah, hits this ball into right field. And again, Miguel Rojas, he can move around the infield. You can do this, hitting 260 this year, only 7 home runs. You see Dom, well, you can see that side spin just getting by him there in right field.
A little extra on it. So 1 out and a runner at second base. Rojas. Here's Kike Hernandez. Backs away from strike 1.
I think about Mookie Betts going back to shortstop. It wasn't an easy transition. See the outs above average, 5 above. So he's been really good defensively at shortstop. It wasn't the case last year. He was really inconsistent transitioning back to the infield.
All of his errors but 1 last year were throwing errors. And that was part of the reason why he and Rojas spent some time together. Talking about those throws from the infield. Rojas, who's played short and second base, where he is now. But not to bury the lead here. It's amazing that A, he's able to do it, and B, that he's willing to do it.
100%. I was just about to say, and look, we saw all the drama with the Red Sox.
Yes.
With their third baseman. And just absolutely, you're a superstar player. You're established, Gold Gloves defense out in right field. And you're willing to, again, transition, which can be a huge distraction with everything you do offensively, everything you do day to day. And there he is now all of a sudden, year 2 of it. He's had a rough year, though, physically. He lost 20 pounds earlier this year, the stomach virus.
Hernandez strikes out. 2 down.
Again, that split. You go back to when Logan Gilbert went on the IL. It was because of that split. He threw a couple warming up, didn't feel right. Put that pitch in his back pocket. That elbow discomfort, hit the IL, came back, and it took a little bit to get that kind of movement on that pitch, where the bottom just falls out of it, and just the trust with that pitch as well, that comfort level. Probably thinking it's going to be maybe his last hitter right here, or try and get him through 5. And 70 pitches. You saw Logan Evans warming up.
Good night for the turtleneck tonight.
He got that off eBay from someone in Germany.
You got that one off eBay from Germany? Are you serious?
He got one of the colors, right, to match the uni. Yeah, he told Brad Allen the whole story on the golf course, all about it.
So a real reliable source.
Yeah.
Rushing, a charge, out of here.
And for Dalton Rushing, who's stepped in behind the plate. Because Will Smith has got that hand injury. Pitch that's out over the middle of the plate, jumping all over it. First pitch. 4th home run of the year.
That got out fast. 2-0 Dodgers now. 3rd time through the top of the order now, Tommy Edman. Oh, 2.
I finished with a punch out right here. This is going to be the last hitter you face in the 2025 season going into the playoffs. Finished on a good note.
That splitter got away from him a little bit. 1-2. Count evens. Gilbert's 2-2 coming. He got him. He gets the strikeout. A couple of runs come in, though, on Rushing's home run. Cal Raleigh will bat second when we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Well, don't miss the Mariners' official ALDS watch parties at T-Mobile Park. When the Mariners hit the road, you can catch the action on the biggest screen in Seattle for Game 3 on October 7th, Game 4 on October 8th, if necessary. Go to mariners.com/October to get your tickets today. Mariners have home field advantage in the divisional round. Top of the order, Randy leads it off. Over the plate for a strike. Now the wind has really picked up here inside the ballpark. An infield base hit to third for the second time tonight for Arozarena. Here comes Cal. Cal has become the 7th player in the history of the game to hit 60 homers in a season. Next up, Roger Maris. The 0-1. He has set a new record for home runs by a catcher that will more than likely never be touched. He gets ahead.
Was hitting over 330 against lefties in the month of September. Just 2 home runs. Slugging 660.
The next pitch to Cal. Well outside.
He's in a good count right here. I don't think Andrew Heaney is going to give in a whole lot. Maybe another slower breaking ball inside the strike zone.
Not a good one there.
I tried to speed him up. And Cal, again, we saw this against Tyler Glasnow, just sitting on that hitter, getting some good swings off, just missing it about an inch. You got to sit breaking ball right here, but see something up. Don't go chasing down and in.
Here comes a throw to first. Now the 3-2. Popped it up. Rojas has it at second base. They let it drop. Now Rojas with a bit of a heady play. They taking a shot at Cal's speed there.
All right, Cal, swipe that bag right now. Actually, don't. I got 2 games before we head into October.
You don't see infielders do that all that often, but every once in a while. It normally has to do with the quality of runner, both at first base and then going to first base. And if there's a bit of a gap there, like it is with Randy and Cal. On the ground through the right side for a base hit. Cal into second. Julio the base hit. 1 out and 2 on.
Yeah, Julio just wearing that right field once again. It's that pitch down and away in the hitter's count. Been doing some damage to, especially this second half.
First and second for the Mariners. Here's Polanco. That moves his foot back. Polanco a walk and a strikeout tonight. Mariners have 6 hits so far, but nothing to show for it. 1 out, 2 on for the Mariners. Foul ball. Fly ball on its way, gone! Jorge Polanco flips the script and gives the Mariners the lead.
Polanco having a huge month of September, hitting around .330, slugging over .600. Had the night off last night. Two-strike breaking ball down and in. Sends it into the left field seats.
Gino fouls it away for strike one. What a year it's been for Jorge Polanco. Green batting gloves might be around to stay for a while now.
Yeah. The matching belt with it.
Yeah, that's the next level.
Is he taking that try? He's putting that trident back himself. All right.
I got this, guys.
He's taking it to his locker.
Gino sitting on 49 home runs. Second time in his career he's reached that number. The 1-2. Gino the opposite way on the track. Alex Call makes the catch. 50 will have to wait. Back to Polanco.
Yeah, this is good to see. If you remember going back to the month of April where he just absolutely went off from spring training, wasn't hitting from the right side. Had the knee issues, really only hitting primarily left-handed. He started to get those at-bats, but man, the month of September, he has been good on both sides of the plate.
Strike one to Dom Can's zone. He calls for time. A little animated after that swing and a miss right there for whatever reason. Polanco's 26th has given the Mariners the lead. Boy, it's beginning to feel like October baseball in here.
Just the last couple of days.
Windy night, 60 degrees.
Thicker pullover. This is your choice, by the way, too thin. This blue Mariners pullover, it's paper thin, freezing up here. I blame you for that.
It was warm earlier. I don't know there'd be a 50-degree wind chill up here. He does not go, able to hold back. Yeah, whenever you look at the weather, you have to know that it's going to be about 7 degrees cooler in the booth here. Off the very end of the bat, Heaney on target to retire the side. Jorge Polanco with a 3-run jack. And he has given the Mariners the lead after 5. The final regular season tune-up for Logan Gilbert has come to a close, Hypen.
Yeah, 5 innings. He knew it was going to be cut short, just 75 pitches. We said around 80, 85 maybe. They're sitting around 5 innings, just like George Kirby last night. Thought he looked good. You see the 5 strikeouts, the 1 walk. Just that 1 mistake against Dalton Rushing, the home run.
Our Beacon Plumbing call to the pen. Logan Evans is out of the bullpen, facing Mookie Betts, and that is ruled ball 1.
Last time we saw Logan Evans was back in Baltimore on that road trip. Good to see him back, covering some innings. Turtleneck and all. Now, I don't think it was this turtleneck, by the way. It was the
Mariners one?
No, it was the one, the Sunday, cream uniform with that color blue. He couldn't find any. He found a Nike one. He wanted to wear a Nike one. He found it in Germany on eBay.
Shipping costs more than the turtleneck. There's out number 1. It brings up Freddie Freeman. This is a really cool connection between these two players at very different ends of their career. It is the future Hall of Famer Freddie Freeman and the rookie Harry Ford. Harry getting his first major league hit tonight, and who does he meet at first base but his childhood idol Freddie Freeman. Remember, Harry grew up in the Atlanta area.
That's right.
A Braves fan as a kid. He said that his parents used to take him to Braves spring training in Orlando, where he once met and got Freeman's autograph. On the ground over to first base. When both Freddie and Harry played in the WBC, Harry for Great Britain and Freddie for Canada, Harry said the moment at the World Baseball Classic that left him in complete awe is when Great Britain played Team Canada and he played against Freddie Freeman. And when Freddie dug into the batter's box for the first time in that game, he tapped Harry on the shin guard and said, "Hey, Harry." He knew who he was.
Now, did he know that Harry Ford was a huge Freddie Freeman fan prior to that? Did he? We don't know. You haven't done that much digging yet?
I'll let you go down and talk to Freddie tomorrow.
You've got a whole computer screen of notes here just within the couple innings. I was out here digging up the fact they played against the World Baseball Classic. You've just gone and taken it to a whole new level.
I remembered our conversation from this offseason with Harry, and we talked to him about the WBC. And
that is so cool.
Pretty cool connection with that guy. So of all guys to be at first base, what are the odds, right? National League team.
That's true.
To be at first base when Harry gets his first hit, I mean, what a full circle moment. The guy you grow up collecting trading cards of, a poster on the wall, getting your picture taken with him as a kid at spring training, and then you flash forward all these years later. You know, the wild thing about that, too, and I wonder how many players have the ability to kind of recognize this in the moment at the time, but Harry Ford's going to sign an autograph for a kid someday in spring training.
Yeah.
And that kid's going to make his way to the major leagues and play against Harry Ford.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, not taking anything away from, the moment of the World Baseball Classic that he referenced. But here you are doing it on Freddie Freeman's level. In other words, you're playing in the big leagues, packed house here at T-Mobile. Having that moment where you get that base hit, have that interaction, how special.
2 balls, 2 strikes, still 2 potheads.
But the coolest part of that, he walks up and says, "Hey, Harry." What? Hold on. You know my name?
Jammed him, a little squibber over to Raley. Practically hands it off to Evans. A clean top of the 6th. Mariners preserve the lead. You can memorialize your favorite moments at T-Mobile Park with a commemorative ticket. You score yours for this year's biggest games like this past week's clinch nights, Cal's record-breaking home runs, and much more. Go to mariners.com/commemorate to get yours today. Now, new pitcher up on the mound for the Dodgers is Jack Dreyer. Luke Raley, the first man to face him.
Does have that spring training feel to it, this game. Getting ready for the postseason. We're in number 86. See the numbers there, 75 innings pitched. Sub-3 ERA.
Raley. And this is caught by Pajes.
AAA asked me if I would change my name from Sir Mix-a-Lot to Sir Mix-a-Lot. I said, why not? I'm more than a rapper, and they're more than just towing. Mix, ay.
Here is Rivas. There's a strike. Dreyer's dad had a brief big league career, but was a major leaguer nonetheless. Back in the early 90s with the Rangers. Appeared in 15 games, made a handful of starts. In fact, he made his major league debut, Steve Dreyer, so Jack's dad, made his major league debut in the summer of 1993 against the Mariners. Junior hit third, Bone cleaned up. Edgar was in there. Dave Valley was catching. Randy Johnson was on the mound. And legend has it that it was a game where both Lou Piniella and Randy Johnson were both ejected. Big unit went just 3 innings.
Goldie, I'm going to give it to you just recently all of a sudden. I know you do this all season long. There's some deep dives here with some of this research these last couple of innings. Wow. Talking about Harry Ford and Freddie Freeman in serious detail.
Well, this game does have a bit of a Camelback Ranch vibe to it, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
As you were saying earlier. A little bit of a Cactus League feel to it. No real consequence for either team. No consequence at all, other than just try to stay healthy and get out of here. Get ready for the postseason as Rivas swings and misses. Wouldn't you love to have a ticket to a game where Lou Piniella and the big unit both get run?
Yeah,
I mean, is that not great television or what?
The epic. I mean, just have a time machine and go back and
if you're an
sit
umpire,
front row.
Who are you more afraid of in that one?
I know, especially back then too. I mean, it was gloves are off.
There's Harry Ford. Harry calls time. You know, the other thing about Dreyer's father, Steve, for a guy who only appeared in 15 major league games, he's got a couple of stories to tell. He was the Rangers reliever who took over for Nolan Ryan when Nolan Ryan kind of blew out on the mound and had his final pitch of his career at the Kingdom. Incredible.
That is amazing. I mean, his dad sitting here right now saying, hey, by the way, wasn't this building?
Well, Steve Dreyer says, I got 2 stories for you.
Yeah.
And they're both great. Yeah, pretty amazing. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Harry Ford. His first major league base hit back in the second. And a single into left center field. Count evens. Pretty wild. Harry Ford had a walk-off RBI before his first career major league hit. How many guys can say that?
And the first pitch he saw in this ballpark.
Earlier this year in May, when the Twins were in town, Cole Young made his major league debut, and in his debut he had a walk-off plate appearance, but he did get his first major league hit earlier in that game. So he checked 2 boxes off. Good take, 3-2. Randy Dew up next. Cal will follow him if he gets that far. To center field. Driven well. Pages has just enough room to retire the side. '26 Mariners season ticket memberships are on sale right now. You can come on aboard with the reserved or flex plan and unlock priority presale access to potential ALCS and World Series games here at T-Mobile Park. Mariners.com/26. Logan Evans back out on the mound. Michael Conforto leading things off. 3-2 Mariners. Now, the Mariners have announced that they will be having some scrimmages. It's like JV ball here. Had some scrimmages here at T-Mobile Park. Wednesday, October 1st. Thursday, October 2nd at 2 and 5 o'clock. And fans are allowed to come watch them play.
How about that?
$10 tickets. Net proceeds benefit the Mariners Care Foundation. Conforto is able to dump this into shallow left field.
They got the concessions open or what? That's all I care about.
I think you're working them. You didn't hear that?
Yeah. Calling them.
Yeah, so one of the things you talked about the other day was trying to stay sharp for the postseason and trying to, during that downtime before Saturday when the Mariners host game 1 of the divisional round, is to have a competitive atmosphere, and they're trying to make this as real game-like as possible, and that's part of the reason why they're having fans come to the games.
Yeah, and I mean, look, the Mariners were able to obviously clinch that playoff berth and pretty much know exactly what the path's going to look like going into the playoffs a couple days ago. But you just don't want that long layoff. Even these games right now against the Dodgers, you don't want a situation where
Harry Ford, he can't make the catch. Would have been a pretty sweet play there.
And you see the athleticism too, how quick he was to this ball, changing directions.
Wow, yeah, you're right.
Man, just got the lip of that glove.
Well, he's such a good athlete that when he came out of the draft, there were some teams that were wondering if they should move him off of catcher, if he could be utilized somewhere else. The Mariners saw him very much as a catcher. 2 balls and a strike. You were talking about the downtime.
Yeah, and it's, look, we've talked a couple days about it now, and talking to, some of the staff members, Mike Yanez, Kevin Seitzer, they've been through this multiple times. One thing they did with the Braves was get some crowd noise involved through the speakers. They had the scoreboard on. I'm sure they're going to do a very similar thing here for those couple of days, but you just don't want a situation where you go through the motions in those inner squads. You want it to be competitive. You want that feedback too. So, Logan Gilbert's facing Julio right in that bat. Get that feedback. What do you see? You send that ball out in the hand, whatever it may be. Get as much as you can from that downtime. Because again, you just don't want a situation where you unplug from these couple of games. You know they don't mean a whole lot. You're just trying to get those reps in. And then those days where you're waiting around because, man, you're about to face a team that's coming off that wild card series. And they're in full speed ahead. Now, on the flip side, get a chance to get, we saw Josh Naylor come out of the game last night. He was hobbling around at second base. Obviously, your potential game 1 starter and Brian Wu gave him a chance to rest, recover, be ready to roll for game 1. Figure out that rotation, who's going to pitch out in the road in that game 3.
Cal's getting ready. He'll bat second when we go to the bottom of the 7th.
Makes for a fun lead up though. I mean, you get to, if you're a Mariners fan, you get to come here, watch those inter squad games. Let your favorite players go up against each other as you get more prep for that ALDS.
Buy a hot dog from Hyphen.
That's right.
On the 100
I'll be
level.
working the concession stands on the 100 level.
Yeah, it sounds like they want to have music playing. They want to have the Mariner Vision board up and running. They want to make it as much of a game-like feel as possible. So fans are obviously a huge part of that. Does he go? Yes, he does. 2 outs. Another thing, too, is you're going to have a chance, I would guess, to get a pretty close view of the Mariners. So pretty fun time to come in and see a different kind of vibe and atmosphere. Obviously, as you referenced, they're wanting to make it competitive, but at the same time, we all know it's not an actual game. So a little bit more of a laid-back vibe than you would have during your normal 9 innings. Certainly when it begins and ends. So pretty cool chance to come out to the ballpark during an idle time of the postseason schedule for the Mariners and catch the M's for a little bit. 2 outs and a man on for Hernandez. The opposite way and dropping in for a hit. Runners on the corners now for the Dodgers.
Yeah, one of the things for Logan Evans is we're getting a chance to see him again coming off the IL. How does he get that swing and miss once he gets into good counts? That's that sweeper right there. The ball just kind of hanging out up in the strike zone. Just dumping that ball into right field.
2 outs, 2 on. Here is Rushing, who homered his last time up. This scores a run. Tied game of the 7th inning. Conforto comes across home plate.
Tell you what, Harry Ford's getting a workout there behind the plate. Saw him with Logan Gilbert in that start, that split, burying that pitch. A little bit of a crossfire right here, trying to shift that weight and stay in front of that ball.
Pulled foul. Go ahead run at second base. 2-1. Here's the stride. AQC Tracer has it just barely off the plate. Three-two. Broken back ground ball. Polanco circles around it to retire the side. Cal Raleigh getting set to bat second. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning, all tied up.
Amiga no peão.
They've come to beat our legends. You can too. Play Seahawks Scratch for a chance at $50K. Order meet Seahawks legends Steve Largent and Cam Chancellor. Sold out crowd tonight. Game 2 of 3. Mariners and the Dodgers. Blake Trinan, one of the leverage arms for Dave Roberts, will pitch the bottom of the 7th inning to face the top of the order.
Yeah, he's gone back-to-back, and a big reason for this is because Blake Trinan, look, he has been struggling in the month of September, so they want to get him that playoff feel. It's the tied-up game, high-leverage situation for Blake Trinan.
Is the playoff feel more who he's facing or more that he's going back-to-back?
I think he's gone back. Number one, he's gone back-to-back. It's a tied game. Trying to bounce off some of the things he's, working through from last night. Because, man, they are going to need him. They're going to need that back end of the bullpen. in just a couple of days. They've got some decisions to make too. We saw Roki Sasaki, who's a candidate in that bullpen. He looked really good last night. He's an option. We also got Emmett Sheehan. He could be a bullpen option. He's a starter. We saw him start that game yesterday.
Well, even though Trinan has not gotten ground balls at quite the same rate this year as in the past, he has long been one of the great ground ball pitchers, ground ball relievers.
And you see those bullpen numbers too. That's where they really slipped behind. The starting pitching's picked it up, especially in the second half, especially with a couple guys coming back healthy. Blake Snell being one of them. Yamamoto's been really good. Obviously Ohtani coming back. But the bullpens had to cover the second most amount of innings in the big leagues.
This is not an easy guy to lift as Rosarena fouls away a 2-strike pitch. Cal Raleigh waiting his turn next. Close. Two. Ground ball. Works its way through, and the Mariners have the go-ahead run aboard. Third hit tonight for Rosarena.
You talked about the ground ball rate, just struggling. Stop those hits from coming. There's another one. 2 strikes.
So he gets a ground ball, but it is a base hit. Here is Cal Raleigh sitting on 60 home runs. Next home run for Cal Raleigh will tie him with Roger Maris for the second most in American League history. First pitch to Cal.
He's been getting fastballs all night in that same spot. I feel like he's just missing them too. He's geared up for it.
Got a little spin that time. 0-2. They've really pitched him in also, haven't they?
Yeah.
Especially Glass now. First couple of at-bats.
Breaking balls down and in under the hands.
Cal calls for time. Here comes the 0-2. Way up out of the zone. Got him to climb the ladder, and Cal strikes out. Here is Julio. Wow, that's the second Mariners hitter that has been given a pitch timer violation. Happened to Gino earlier. So that makes it strike 2.
Yeah, Trinan had one against him. The same situation last night.
Threw him 2 pitches and struck him out. Don't see that every day. 2 down. It was Polanco who gave the Mariners the lead in the 5th with a 3-run home run. Polanco's got a chance tonight to homer from both sides of the plate. Hit that home run earlier tonight. Right-handed off the lefty Heaney. Randy on his way to second base, and he is safe. 31st stolen base of the year for Randy Arozarena.
Again, in there easily. Good jump. Good pitch to throw on, too. For Dalton Rushing, but really no chance of that jump.
He's one stolen base shy of a career best. Stole 32 bags back in 2022 with Tampa Bay.
Now, Goldie, that's another thing, too, going into that ALDS. How aggressive would this team be on the bases? You know about that home run being a threat? See Mookie talking to Randy. What are they talking about right now?
I'd love to get in on that conversation. Bro, get your head in the game. What are we doing? What? That was like 3 feet from you. Were you waving to everybody? Oh my God, what a clown. Are you kidding me? You're waving to everybody? For what? For not knowing that it was right by you? Swing and a miss for strike. That was incredible. That's almost as good as if 61 had happened this inning. Wow. We got boot camp on that.
You like that wave, too? Just...
Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by UW Medicine, the only health system in Washington that directly connects care to a research and learning powerhouse. UW Medicine, a higher degree of health care. Top of the order, Tommy Edman is batting. Logan Evans back out on the mound for his third inning of work. Now, apparently that foul ball found Gary Hill in the radio booth.
How'd you go? Did you make a grab or what?
All I know, he just said way too close to all my screens. No catch. I'm replying. I mean, I assume there's no catch, right? Should I tell him that you took credit for making the catch?
Yeah, tell him I gave everyone the wave.
What a way.
Oh, man. I got a couple waves back down there, by the way. I know they're probably looking up saying, what's he waving for?
Gary caught it on the bounce, which is not a catch.
Who's got more screens, by the way? You or Gary? He's got 50 screens.
Gary has one too many.
Okay.
I say on the bounce is not a catch as somebody who has dropped 2. So full disclosure here. Yeah, I dropped one a couple of years ago that Cal hit back on the booth, and the next day I gave it to Cal and I said, you need to sign this and you need to find a way to eviscerate me for dropping it. And he signed 2 Goldie, nice hands, feet, Cal Raleigh.
Classic.
It's pretty good. 2 down. There's Freddie Freeman. Three and 0 to Freeman. Freddie Freeman comes into tonight's game as a career 300 hitter.
Man, that's rare these days.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Draws a walk. Average won't change here. 2-out walk to Freddie Freeman. Yeah, I'm not sure if he'll be able to carry that for the rest of his career. Hopefully for his sake he can, but pretty incredible to have 16 years in the show, playing over 2,000 games, and you are a crisp 300 hitter on the dot. That's amazing.
Yeah, 36 years old. 23 home runs this year.
Incredible career, and still going. Another thing, too, when you look at Freeman's career, when he began his age 28 season, he'd been an all-star just twice. For a guy who made his debut as a 20-year-old. The back half of his career is where he has really taken off. That's when he's had his best seasons.
He's still got 2 years left on that 6-year deal he signed with the Dodgers. 6 years, $162 million. 2026, 2027.
Two and 2. Fly left field. Randy fielding for the wall, and he makes the catch. The ballpark holds it. We make our way to the bottom of the 8th inning. Gino will lead things off, chasing 50 home runs. Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by UW Medicine, the only health system in Washington that directly connects care to a research and learning powerhouse. UW Medicine, a higher degree of healthcare. By Steel, to find your local Steel dealers, visit steeldealers.com. And by Giza Credit Union, member-owned, community-focused. Alex Vesia is up on the mound. He will work the bottom of the 8th inning for the Dodgers.
And a big part of this bullpen. Had a good couple of years last year in 2024. Had a 1.76 this year, just over 3. 67 games pitched.
Missing just in ball 1 to Gino. 49 home runs this year for the Mariners' third baseman. Skips down in the dirt. Now Dave Roberts giving one of his stars a break for the rest of the night. Mookie Betts is done for the evening. Ha-Seong Kim is now at shortstop. Two and two. Now it takes off on a full count to Gino, leading things off in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Yeah, that's where he likes to live with that fastball. He's got that really good ride. That pitch just stays above the barrel, above the strike zone. Goes along with that slider as well. We just saw that pitch before that.
3-2. Gets him at the top of the zone. Gino strikes out. When tonight's game is over with, we'll have Mariners post-game presented by Emerald Queen Casino. You know, I'm guessing both sides are really hoping doesn't happen tonight.
What's that?
Extra innings.
There you go.
Would this be like a spring training game if the Mariners and the Dodgers were playing in the Cactus League, where after 9, Dan Wilson and Dave Roberts just stand on the top step and look at each other and just give the international sign for
one of these ones? Could you imagine? Oh, man.
Let's end it. If only.
We talked about this in the open, though. This was, really highly anticipated series. You got the Dodgers coming to town to finish off the year, not knowing where the Mariners were going to be at that point, if it was going to come down to that last game. But yeah, it's been a situation again, a packed house. Both teams just trying to stay put until they get to October.
Two outs.
We've seen how good Dominic Canzone has been handling left-handed pitching. Again, Vesia is such a tough matchup against lefties with that fastball that just rides top of the strike zone. You won't see too much velocity. It's 92, 93. It just takes off.
Here's Luke Raley. And this is kind of one of those funny parts of the game, and a game that, as we've documented, is inconsequential for either side. Part of the game where you normally would probably see Victor Robles hit there for Canzone against the lefty, but I'm sure they're trying to give guys complete nights off, like we saw last night for Polanco, and that might be a case here tonight again for a guy like Robles. And so even though there's no doubt neither one of these managers wants extra innings, they want this game to end, but at the same time they clearly aren't going to put all their chips in to win the game in certain spots, because they want to prioritize the health of some guys and some rest and recovery for others.
Yeah, really the only element you've seen is just Dave Roberts' way he's used that bullpen. We talked about Blake Trinan going back-to-back days. Again, as these games don't mean a whole lot. We get it. But again, get Blake Trinan some confidence because you want that bullpen firing. They're going to play in just a couple of days in the playoff game. Bessie is a big part of that bullpen, getting him out there in a tough situation. You see how fired up he is.
Bessie says inconsequential to who? Goldsmith. All right, Munoz is getting set to come in. We are tied after 8. Visit the Mariners team store at T-Mobile Park and downtown Seattle to grab your postseason and American League West champs gear. Merch has been selling out fast, so be sure to follow the team store's Instagram and X accounts for all the latest updates. Munoz has the 9th inning and tied game.
A good spot for him to come in. It'll be the last game he's going to pitch. He won't go tomorrow before we see Andres Munoz in playoff action. Man, what a year for him. All-star this year. 38 saves. 1.5 ERA. Just dominance for that 9th inning for the Mariners.
Yeah, pretty tough for him to follow up on last year's performance, and he has been noticeably better, I think it's safe to say. A workout tonight behind home plate for Harry Ford, getting his first start as a major league catcher.
Yeah, you got Logan Gilbert's split he had to deal with those first couple of innings. And you got Munoz's slider to deal with behind the plate.
Well, you see the walk rate there for lefties and righties. It's higher than Munoz would like. That has been maybe the one bugaboo this year for Andres Munoz, and he walks the leadoff man here. Conforto is on.
Yeah, we've seen this from time to time. It's usually the first hitter of the inning. You get a real good feel, or we get a good look at how Andres Munoz is feeling with that command. And talking to him midway through the year, he talked about just looking straight, usually Cal Rowley, but the catcher's mask. Just going off that, letting that ball, that fastball move side to side. And the same thing with that slider as well. But yeah, at times you can just kind of see that command losing for a minute. Have some traffic behind it.
Go ahead run is aboard. He misses low. 2 balls, no strikes on Alex Call. And here comes Harry Ford, and Leo Rivas comes in from short.
Boy, Harry getting out there, taking charge. Munoz a bit of a spell. You can see him just start to speed up a little bit. His tempo started to change.
So 7 pitches, just 1 strike.
Yeah, and a couple of things from Munoz going back to when you look over the 162 games. We talked about this early in the year where last year they were pushing him early on to go multiple innings, go inning in the third, inning in 2/3. Well, Dan Wilson really avoided that early when he could have. There was times in the 8th inning where you could have called on Andres Munoz to get some of those games. And he decided to keep it 1 inning at a time. You remember last year, around the beginning of September, he had some back issues. He had to take some weeks off. He didn't really hit the IL. And then the other thing too, Goldie, was how he responded that game in New York when all of a sudden he was tipping the pitches. They were telling him what was coming from second base. He had to make that adjustment with his glove. And that can get in your head big time. And all of a sudden you feel like everyone knows what pitch you throw, because look, it's public and it spreads quick. All of a sudden the team catches what you're doing with your gloves. All of a sudden other teams catch on and start to pay attention because you are facing someone who's so tough to pick up in Andres Munoz. But man, he rebounded from that outing so well. He's been dominant all year long.
Yeah, so quickly it was almost like it didn't happen. It was a very quick adjustment for Munoz. 2-2. After a couple of fastballs, he throws him a slider that he's able to lay off.
And you see that glove kind of tucked up on his chest. He got that closer to him, just to keep it more consistent, so he wasn't giving away what he was throwing. Wasn't moving that glove around, tipping pitches.
Conforto on his way to second, but it's ball 4. You can see the frustration on Munoz's face. He's walked the first 2 batters. Go ahead, run now in scoring position.
If I'm Andres Munoz right now, look, I know this game doesn't mean a whole lot. However, here you are, none out, 2 runners on. If I'm him, I'm putting myself in postseason mode where all of a sudden I'm on the ropes. How do I get out of this situation? How do I start chipping away to get that first out, second out, and keep this game tied? I mean, that's the best work you can get, right? Get that game speed and that game situation where you're on the ropes, because it's going to happen at some point during the postseason.
Conforto at second base called the runner at first. The bunt is popped back. And out of play, 1-1. Corners in on the grass. Fouled at the plate.
But then again, they may not get there with Munoz because they're going to keep an eye on that pitch count too. Remember the fact that you're trying to keep everyone fresh. Already 14 pitches. We'll see the Mariners bullpen get going here in a minute.
And he's just overcooking that fastball a couple of times now. Outside, away to a righty. 2-2.
We're going to be careful. Rojas is just going to try and shoot something into right field. React to that slider down the way.
The 2-2. Over to first base. Takes Rayleigh to the bag. Works like a sacrifice. 1 out, both runners advance.
That's a good pitch too. Going back to that hitter up and in. He knew Rojas was trying to shoot that ball to right field, obviously. Again, this has got that run that goes up and in on your hands. Again, like you said, Goldie, just a good job to get to that pitch. This is a big out right here. And Kike Hernandez can be
Randy chasing this, and he won't be able to get there. This brings home 2. Conforto and Call both score, and Kike Hernandez is having himself a series in Seattle. He's put the Dodgers in front of the 9th inning.
That's those moments. I mean, you look at Kike Hernandez, nothing jumps off the page in regards to the numbers he's put up this year. But it's moments just like that. So this is the last couple of nights. They'll just go up by 2. Just a hanging slider up and in, jumped all over it.
Hernandez a home run last night. 3 hits tonight, a pair of doubles, 4 for 8 in the first 2 games. Strike 1 to Rushing. Well, it gets ahead 0-2. Good to see that from Munoz here. Just 1 out, a runner at second base. Julio in center. Hernandez into third. 2 outs and a runner 90 feet away. Back to the top of the order. Here's Tommy Edman. This is rattled fair over by Raley, who practically hands it off to retire the side. The Dodgers have taken the lead. The Mariners down to their final 3 outs. If anybody reaches, Cal Raleigh will bat the last of the 9th when we return. One of the largest crowds this year inside T-Mobile Park. Mariners down to their final 3 outs, trailing by 2 runs. Mariners will have 8, 9, and 1 due up. If anybody reaches, Cal Raleigh will bat. Edgardo Enriquez is the new pitcher on the mound for Los Angeles.
I see the numbers, 2.5 ERA. Just 18 innings. Again, this crowded bullpen. Some tough decisions to make. What's going to happen once you get to that wild card game just a couple of days from now? I don't know who they're playing here.
.99 over the plate, fouled back, strike 1. 101 that time.
Wow.
So he's in the bullpen.
Yeah. Just punched his ticket. Wow, 101 top of the strike zone. Easy cheese. He pitched in the 2024 postseason, but not in those high leverage spots. You see the stuff, just 20 games this year. 18 games, excuse me, coming into tonight.
102 and off the plate.
Wow.
You know, I was just thinking, why would you throw anything else?
Right.
Cutter misses outside, and now Ford ahead 2-1.
101, 102, above the strike zone. Well, I mean, if they foul something off, fair enough. But until then, just keep pumping 102s.
Harry Ford ahead of the count.
Wow. He does that. Turns on that 100.
Turned on 100 and sent it to the upper deck out there. You don't see too many foul balls up that away. Wow. On a 3-2. That is tough cooking right there. You can throw it over the plate if it's 102 most times.
Absolutely. Especially it's got that ride to it as well. You see that ball just getting above the barrel, but you got Harry Ford who cheated on that pitch, so you can either go to that breaking ball down below the strike zone. Just challenge him again. He's way behind that one.
Well, you love to see Randy reach if for no other reason to get Cal Raleigh one more at-bat tonight. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th inning. Down to their final strike. Randy steps out. Here comes an 0-2. 102 up and in. Cal Raleigh is left on deck, and that's how it comes to a close tonight. The Dodgers win tonight 5-3, the final score.
Yeah, tough one. We said this game had a little bit of the spring training vibes to it, as both teams are just getting ready, getting prepped for the postseason. But again, a tough one. You don't want to leave where you feel like you're missing that fastball, or for Andres Munoz coming off a tough one. But again, Dodgers take care of business against the Mariners tonight.
Final regular season game tomorrow, and earlier start time than normal. 12:10 the first pitch. Bryce Miller will be going up against Clayton Kershaw in his final regular season start. We hope we can join you tomorrow. Mariners postgame brought to you by Emerald Queen Casino is on the other side.